And welcome back to another Pod Snap.
You're not going to say go?
Pod snapping. I haven't said go for Pod Snaps.
Oh, you have it?
That's a BGS thing, not a Pod Snap
So
thing.
you should say initiate.
Initiate Pod Snap.
Hello, everybody. No, I'm not doing. I don't. Why is it?
You messed up.
I would love to be able to get through an episode where we don't have just sound effects.
Well, you've got
sound effects. Or
Enrique is sitting over there, so you're going to get a weird sound effect.
All right, we'll keep the sound effects.
Welcome to Pod Snap number 3, where we're going to discuss
Talk about Rise of Skywalker first.
Rise of Skywalker first. Go.
On a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being not the best movie you've ever seen, but one of the best movies.
No, I'm going to say 1 to 10 on a scale of Star Wars movies.
Okay, let's do that. Scale of 1 to 10, Star Wars movie. What's your number 10?
Return of the Jedi.
Okay, that's a good mark. Mine would be Empire Strikes Back. I'd say Return of the Jedi is a 9 for me. All right, so where do you rank this?
Right behind it. Rise of Skywalker is a 9.5 to me.
I consider it Legends.
You consider it what?
Is it Legends? It's not canon. That movie is
It's
not
legend,
canon.
it's not canon.
Why is it not canon to
Because it's that bad. It's just...
you? What's wrong with it?
Okay, so...
Oh, you're putting it to him.
Okay. Opening screen. As soon as
screen?
the movie was...
The curtains opened?
Yeah, basically. As soon as it just
The Pepsi
started,
commercial that begins with each.
I did
and it's like, oh, hey, let's start off this movie with freaking Poe, this guy and Chewie just like, oh, we're flying through space trying to meeting up with this guy to get some information about the First Order. It's just so bad.
The thing is that Enrique's description of the plot is actually very accurate. It's not him rambling.
No.
His idea actually his description of the plot actually makes more sense than what J.J. Abrams put together.
Because it's
incorrect.
like, oh, hey, we have the information about the First Order.
Hey.
And then it goes into, oh, we're fighting
How much of
the First
Empire
Empire.
Strikes Back
And then we go into, oh,
had to
now
do
we're at
anything
our
with
home-
original New Hope?
we're at our
Nothing.
home base.
It's the exact same thing. George Lucas didn't have a clue from one episode to the next what he was doing. Every bit of this, it can be literally applied to Empire Strikes Back. As a movie on its own, there was crap made up, plot twists that came about out of nowhere. Exact same thing in Empire Strikes Back.
No, but go
Yes.
ahead. I want to hear. Okay, tell me them.
No, I don't have to tell you them. It's all all over the internet.
No, what was in Dark? What was it? What was it?
Darth Vader is his dad. He's related to the main bad guy. Shocker. Rey's related to Palpatine. Okay, big deal. Empire Strikes Back did the same thing.
No. That was tied in.
No, it had nothing. That was not even. Luke and Leia were freaking kissing each other.
Right.
You can't tell me George Lucas had any idea that he was going to make them brother and sister.
No, not in the first one.
Let's make it incestuous.
No,
Make it incestuous, saying. No. And then you have 2 different directors doing 3 different movies. JJ did what he could do to the best of his ability to follow what probably he had in mind originally.
I will.
And so then he retconned Last Jedi.
I will say that. Yes, he did to the best of his ability, and he did the best with what he had.
And it was enjoyable to. Oh, well, this is my thing. Last Jedi was kind of boring. It was kind of small on scale. This one was like planet hopping. It was adventurous. It was fun. It was the most Star Wars-y I have felt in a movie since the original Star Wars. I liked it better than The Force Awakens.
Really?
Yes.
You were all about The Force Awakens.
I enjoyed Force Awakens. It accomplished, when it came out, it accomplished what it needed to do in combining the new with old, introducing these new characters that we cared about. Rey was a nice girl. Finn was funny. Poe was kind of... He never did... And even still yet, Poe has never become a Han Solo, and not that you expect him to be.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. Still yet, that's why the original trilogy still remains on top, obviously, because those characters were more fully realized. Han had a arc. Leia had an arc. Luke had an arc. Even though growing up, did not like Luke Skywalker.
What?
I was a Han man.
Well, everybody was a Han
I
man.
know.
Everyone.
But Luke was he was the straight man. He was the representation of the struggle.
He is the Skywalker. This is the Skywalker saga, so clearly it was about him and his family. And I appreciated going from A New Hope Luke to Return of the Jedi, where he shows up all in black and starts kicking butt.
Yeah.
That was great.
That's why his clothing got darker. No, truly, that was brought out.
I know.
So, all right.
I'm not blind. Rise of Skywalker clearly has many, many issues. Just as we discussed in a podcast about how Yukon Airways made you feel. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you how Rise of Skywalker made me feel like it gave me that same sense of adventure and fun, and I just enjoyed it on that level.
Okay, so I want to address that. That's what I'm wanting to get you at. Right there is the feeling that Rise of Skywalker gave you. To regress just a little bit and picked up what you had pointed out so eloquently, that yes, George Lucas did not intend when he was shooting The New Hope that Darth Vader was so-and-so's
gourd head.
Okay, so I completely agree with you there. So, but George Lucas, why I think Empire Strikes Back is the best Star Wars movie, is because as soon as it picked up, it was obvious that he had a plan. Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi was just one long movie, essentially. It was controversial that it stopped at a stopping point when there was really no closure. It was meant to be sequeled. And he wrote in these characters. He made Luke and Vader related. He gave this love story between Leia and Han. And it was purposeful. He did this and planned it out over 2 movies of what's going to take place. And he got to tell a more nuanced story than he did in A New Hope, which I like New Hope. I think New Hope is 2 hours of some of the best filmmaking ever in terms of what you can do with an action-adventure film, the bad guy, the plot, what takes place. Low budget. It was great. Absolutely.
Although Chewie didn't get his medal.
He got it in this one.
Which was fixed in this one.
So we're going to talk about the little.
But again, we're not even discussing the old ones. They're still clearly on top.
Clearly,
and it was still George Lucas, himself.
But to you, just barely. You like Rise of Skywalker that much.
I enjoyed it quite a bit, and I never have really liked him. This is my thing. I've never really liked Empire Strikes Back because it's a darker story, and I'm just not that kind of guy. Like I like the happy ending of Return of the Jedi.
It wasn't no. It's not really a dark. Yes, it is a darker presentation, but it's part of the arc.
Solo gets frozen.
It's part of the arc.
Luke gets his hand cut off, and the bad guys win. That just is not how I like to end a movie as a 12-year-old boy.
But still, it was setting it up for greatness.
Yeah.
Okay, but I don't care about the setups though. Just like Avengers: Infinity War, that was fine. Endgame is the movie I like.
So. Here's the things we'll talk about.
He got nothing to say that because had never watched any of those movies.
Yeah, okay,
well, whatever.
Whatever. I know that one of them they all turn to dust, and then the other one they all come back from the future.
Back, baby.
Yeah. Great writing, by the way.
It was actually.
I didn't. That may sound sarcastic, but
okay.
But no, but no. That for what it was, to be able to pull off something so cliche,
especially holding to a comic.
Yeah. To have to be so cliche and it to have that emotional impact, I understand that completely. That's great. That's great.
Emotional impact is how I rank movies.
That's what I want to go on. Emotional impact.
I got
deep impact.
I got deep emotional impact. I did not cry at all in Deep Impact. I cried in Armageddon. That's why Armageddon ranks higher than Deep Impact. Did you cry
in this one?
I got a little teary-eyed when the Armada showed up.
That you knew
at the end, like Avengers Endgame. It was just, and that was a very Avengers Endgame. Like they're fixing to lose. Everybody's here. I knew it was going to happen.
And Poe starts apologizing.
At the moment,
it's not the time to be apologizing when we're all dying.
At the moment it happens, like it got me. It was predictable. but the music playing, there's all them ships, it got me. And Ben smiling at the end, that got me. Han Solo talking to Ben got me.
That was the only thing that got me.
And still, I mean, I wasn't like,
No.
I like got a little lump in my throat.
So emotional impacts, the only one that I had was literally when Harrison Ford shows up unexpectedly, tells Ben's about to tell him he loves him, and he just says, I know. He call back to Empire Strikes Back. That was a great scene. That was the only emotional impact I had with this entire story. And I will break down each and every problem I had with Rise of Skywalker and why I think it's not only a terribly written movie, terribly just thought out, and how it could have been better. So first off, it opens with this.
The Last Jedi, no emotional impact. Luke died. Don't care.
No,
Force
no,
Awakens.
No,
I didn't.
I've got you on recording saying you got teary-eyed. You back that up right now.
Okay, hold on. I do remember that, but that was on second viewing.
That doesn't matter because you were eating during the first one.
Okay. Force Awakens, my freaking favorite movie character of all time, dies. Didn't cry. Didn't care.
I did.
Because the way that it happened, it didn't do nothing for me.
That was poorly done.
It was poorly done.
It's poorly done.
That was a JJ mess up right there.
Well,
I liked Force Awakens mainly for the humor and the reconnecting with the characters, but of all of the modern trilogy, I like this one the best. Okay. Of the modern trilogy, which one do you like the best?
Force Awakens.
Then what? Yeah.
If you put a gun to my head,
I'm blaster. I'm putting a blaster to your head.
I'll have to think about that.
Okay.
So to break it down, number one,
go ahead, break it down.
You will never convince me that J.J. Abrams meant to bring back Palpatine. You will never convince me that that was meant to happen.
Someone said that was his voice when Rey picked up the lightsaber in Force Awakens.
Someone said this. Someone said that.
I'm just telling
you. And of course, they did nothing with that scene. It was never referenced to. It never implied. Nothing ever happened with it.
But that's what I'm saying.
JJ needs to come out and clarify that.
So, no, Palpatine has been part of the Skywalker saga since the beginning.
Right.
So I thought it was fitting that from DJ brought this out. Very good thought. Now, I have seen arguments. Did he create Anakin?
No.
Was he part of the Immaculate Conception? Because that was said.
No.
That's what DJ says.
No. I don't think so, unless that's some deep stuff.
Who created Anakin?
The Metachlorians got together. And they just did it.
What was his mama's name?
It's something weird. It makes me laugh. It's like it's not. It's,
Maud.
No, it is. It's something like that. It's like Wilma or something.
I just thought she was a
Martha. I don't know what his mom's name is. It's something goofy.
That was weird. Okay.
And they've got anyways.
But Palpatine claims that he was in charge of everything the whole way. And he was there from the beginning. He was there at the end. I get that.
I don't.
Yes,
think so.
I think it was I didn't care for. It was a cheap way out.
Very cheap.
Was he cloned? That's my question.
No, he resurrected himself. He can do that apparently.
Yeah.
Well, that's canon.
I guess
that's canon.
I guess it's very.
But I was thinking he was cloned.
No, he wasn't cloned.
Okay.
He was cloning other people.
And he hooked up to all those syringes.
Yep, he just does his things.
Getting juiced
it's
up.
It's like an inversion table. That's all that is. His back's hurting from Vader chunking him down that tube. So right away, this hyperspace skipping.
You go to the back of all them tubes, it just says Tylenol.
Hyperspace skipping, that was stupid. Purposeless.
That was weird.
No point.
And I haven't, was that in anything else?
No. They did that just for stupidity.
Yeah.
Just to have an action sequence.
Just for stupidity.
As we were coming up here, me and Jerry were discussing over it because here's the thing. They're going to hyperspeed.
They ended up in the sun like you did in Zaya.
There you go.
Basically.
And then the credits roll.
Okay, so when you think of hyperspace, it should be in space, right? Like where you're just skipping.
Yeah, I mean space. But I mean maybe they had some sort of planet coordinates, just
through terrain on different planets. No. I'm sorry.
I mean, it would have seemed like he would have ended up in some big black voids at some point.
You're going to crash into something sooner or
Okay,
later.
that was silly. That was
It's
silly.
just- it was so bad. It was just terrible.
Yeah, it was terrible. And so then,
But that was literally okay. That was a stupid part of the movie.
okay, so let's move on to the next stupid part of the movie, where you have the three main characters interact with each other, and their only interacting that they have is that they argue. They argue and they argue and they argue. Like Finn, Poe, and Rey just are like
They're
Larry,
bickering like children.
Mo, Larry, and Curly. They just bicker the entire time. So now,
It's not like us.
yeah, but yet they bicker purposelessly.
Yes.
They go off on this MacGuffin.
Bicker with purpose.
They go off on this MacGuffin thing of we're going to go find this item that's somehow now important. And
Wayfinder.
the Wayfinder, which looks like a Sith holocron.
Which it
I
should have
thought
been.
that's what it was.
Why don't
should
you
have
call
been.
it the Sith holocron?
That's what it should have been.
Which thanks JJ for not reading any of the books. And so now they go off and have this goofy adventure where you now have to try to grasp at nostalgia, throw in Lando, and now have this scene that's could have had some emotional impact where Rey accidentally gets irritated and blows up a ship that Chewie is on, which actually was in a book where Chewie dies saving somebody on a planet that blows
Yeah.
up.
Rogue Planet.
Yeah, Rogue
Yeah.
Planet took him out. So no, and so she also now can heal snakes. I mean, come on,
No. Hold on. See, this is where if we're going to get into that stuff, you got to get into the Mandalorian. You have a little child of a Yoda doing all kinds of stuff, and Rey has a high midichlorian count.
apparently.
Super high. She's a Palpatine. Palpatine is the most powerful Jedi, Jet Force user.
Jet Force user.
In the universe.
Jet Force user. His dishes are really
But-
clean.
They are.
But here's the thing.
Palpatine is the most
The-
powerful.
But the ability to heal
that
has
lightning.
always been a.
Huh?
Got that line.
He's got that lighting going.
But the whole
And
being
it's-
able to heal, that's always been a Jedi thing.
No.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Here's
that she
one
was
thing.
able to heal.
Here's one thing.
Well, it's always been a Force thing. I mean,
it's
it's always
always
been
been
there.
It's never been depicted. And here,
No,
and
and
here-
but it's in the books, just like lots of other things are. That
Here's
has
why-
been stolen and taken and used in the movies that
Here-
nobody acknowledges was in the books. That's canon.
no, I don't. Here's why.
Little baby Yoda did that in the Mandalorian, like in episode 3,
I'm not even saying that. No, it wasn't episode 3, but it was
4,
No, it wasn't episode
5.
4. You're
6,
making close.
7, 8.
With this, and this is why I call foul. And this is why it's so.
he's a child.
This is why it's so stupid. This is why Disney shouldn't even gone down that route. Okay, so you're saying because Palpatine's the greatest midichlorian user of all time.
yeah.
Who's the second?
He's slinging them
Who's the
out.
second? Would you not say Luke Skywalker?
Revan.
Would you not say Luke
Did
Skywalker?
you really bring out? Don't.
Revan's canon now too.
Would
We're
you
not
not
bringing-
say
no,
that
stop.
Luke
We're not
Skywalker?
He
bringing that.
is.
We're not bringing that in.
Revan is canon.
He's
No.
canon now. But here, let me get to my point. So Luke is the midichlorian user, chosen one type thing, and so is Yoda, correct?
Sure.
Okay, so Luke's got his hand cut off. Does it not heal amputees?
That's
No.
old stuff.
No.
That's old stuff.
No. Doesn't heal amputees?
George didn't think of that.
No, nobody thought of that. Disney didn't think of that. They put that in as a
It's
plot
just
thing.
like George Lucas only had limited things he could do back in 1977 when the first Star Wars
Do you
came
know
out.
how pissed I would be if I'm Luke
Hey,
Skywalker
language, sir.
and somebody's healing somebody from a mortal wound, like, oh, I stuck a lightsaber through your chest, and he's like, what about my hand? Sorry, I don't do digits.
Yeah.
No, that is completely nonsensical. Don't
Ray
like it.
wasn't there when he got his hand cut off. What can I say?
So there's a time limit on it?
Hey, she wasn't there.
There's a time limit on it?
What are you talking about?
She couldn't do it 30 years later? She couldn't just heal him up? There's a time limit?
scar tissue.
Oh yeah! Oh! Like that's like the
Like
lightsaber
the-
cauterizing somebody immediately. Sorry. Yeah. So this
Like
is
the Red Hot
nonsensical.
Chili Pepper said, scar tissue.
It's nonsensical, and I do not like it.
Well,
It
then
only
do you not like the little baby Yoda in Mandalorian? Force healing grief?
that was stupid. Shouldn't have been in it.
It's in the books. It's canon.
Which books?
Well, it's legends.
The Legends. It's
now
Legends.
canon though, because little baby Yoda did it. That's what I'm saying. It's been brought out. It's done, and you can't blame just Ray for doing it because they literally just did it with Mandalorian.
No.
So it is a forced power.
No, I am blaming Disney because they forced it into the Mandalorian.
Forced.
Yes, so that they could force it on us. In
Forced.
This one. Yeah, it's there. It was. It's stupid.
No,
I don't like it.
It is in the books before they decided that they want to get rid of all the books.
And the book's stupid.
No.
That book's stupid.
Darth Bane did it to himself. He healed himself. Exactly.
Yeah.
And then like the mind bomb that Darth Bane used, which is now canon.
No.
Don't get me started.
All right, so it's stupid.
I'm getting fired up.
All right, next. Here's my next thing that I don't like.
There. How about that?
Did you have any emotional reveal when she suddenly is now Palpatine's third cousin?
No,
George?
knew it.
Nobody
Knew
cared.
It. No. Knew it.
That was
not only did we know it because of the YouTube video that you shared or whatever, that the guy like nailed this movie exactly line by line, but as soon as she shot lightning out of her fingers at Chewbacca and blew him up, supposedly, I was like, okay, she's a Palpatine because that's his thing.
I was more emotionally disturbed when General Hux got shot.
Oh my God, no. Could not care less about General Hux.
I like General Hux.
Could not care less.
And here's why.
He was cheesy and corny.
No, he was not.
He was terrible
I'm gonna
in this movie.
no, I'm going to take
Domhnall Gleeson.
Drumhall Gleason, and I will hold.
Drumhall?
I will hold.
Drum roll?
I will hold Ryan Johnson responsible for that. In the first movie, he was cool.
Well, blame Ryan then.
Yeah, and Ryan messed that character up so much that they had to introduce
With the prank phone calls.
They had to introduce a whole new character in to replace him.
General Pride.
Yeah, stupid. Completely Ryan's fault.
Well, we're talking about Rise of Skywalker.
And again, Rise of Skywalker messed up in so many ways. What was the guy from Lord of the Rings doing in this show? What was the purpose of him?
I don't know what you're talking about.
The guy from Lord of the Rings. From Lost.
Oh, Dominic Monaghan.
What was he doing here?
He was a big fan of the Star Wars movies, and he said, put me in the show. And so JJ's like, okay, fine, you can be a random character in the background.
And he did absolutely nothing.
As did, they're side characters. He's a side character. We don't need him.
They introduced...
How much of time did Admiral Akbar get? He said, it's a trap. That's literally all Admiral Akbar did in the originals.
That's all
he was only like in the last third.
It became the greatest line in Star Wars
What
history.
did Dominic say? Exactly.
Good question.
Nothing of consequence.
Oh, so what? Are you wanting equal screen time for every character?
No, I find it interesting. Like, name any secondary characters that are worthwhile from this trilogy.
BB-8.
Not a secondary character.
He sure is.
No, it's not.
No, BB-8
He
was
sure is.
integral. It's like R2-D2 is the main character throughout the originals.
No, he is not a main character.
He definitely
He's a droid.
Oh my.
He definitely
Are you? No.
Everybody.
R2-D2. Yes, he's an adorable secondary character.
Listen up. Stop. BoardGameSnobs@gmail.com. Please email Gobby and let him know how wrong he is.
Who says R2-D2 is my favorite character from the original
I didn't
trilogy?
say he was a favorite.
It don't matter. No. It's Leia,
No,
Han,
you're not
and Luke.
listening. You're just yelling because you're not paying attention. It has been documented.
I can yell
and it's
if I
been
want
so,
to.
but said by George Lucas himself that R2-D2 is literally the star of Star Wars from the episode
Just
1
because he's in them all doesn't make him the star.
episode 6. He narrated.
Okay, well,
and
let's make an
experienced-
R2-D2 movie, and let's see how that goes over.
I'm not saying he's everybody's
It's gonna be
favorite.
stupid because he goes beep, 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 beep,
No. You're just talking and you don't even, you sound about like him too. You're making
Exactly.
about as much.
That's it. It's stupid to say he's the main character.
No, I'm not saying he's the main character, but he is certainly a main character. He is not a secondary character in the show. The narrative follows him, literally follows him throughout the whole show. And you're terribly wrong on that. So you can't think of any secondary characters on this trilogy.
No.
I can think of.
I don't know what you're talking about. What's the question?
Name any, meanwhile, secondary characters. Force Awakens, Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker.
Dio.
Captain Phasma.
No.
No one cares about her.
Exactly. They're secondary characters. Nobody cares.
Okay.
Dio.
And here's where you're wrong why nobody cares. New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, Last Jedi. So not only do you have Jabba the Hutt, which there has been books written
Oh
about
my
Jabba
God.
the Hutt.
Are you serious right now?
Not only have there been books.
Nobody cares about Jabba the Hutt, the fat slug.
everybody cares about.
No.
There had been you're making a fool
Just
of
because
yourself.
no.
You're making a fool of yourself.
You're making a fool of yourself.
I will let the fans write in. Boba Fett, a main secondary character.
Are you kidding? He literally has one line. Just because people liked his jetpack doesn't make him a awesome secondary character.
You have gone from being. We're gonna have to cut this because you are an complete and total.
I freaking watched Empire Strikes Back and Jedi in the theater when it came out. I did not care about Boba Fett. He has a jetpack. Just because the hipsters decided that this guy was cool. Sure, he's cool. He's got a jetpack. He's a Mandalorian. He's got like a line, and people just latched onto him, just like the Porgs. Are we going to jump on the Porg train from Last Jedi?
No, nobody's jumped on any of the secondary
Exactly, because they're not important.
No,
what did Boba Fett do? He got hit with a stick, blasted off into the Sarlacc pit. That was it.
Let me make my point. Wedge Antilles.
Nobody cares about Wedge. I literally, growing up, I did not care about any of those secondary characters.
Okay, well,
I cared about Han, Luke, and Leia.
But here's my point.
Darth Vader.
Here's my point, so I can make my point finally.
Nobody cares about Boba.
If I can make, everybody cares about Boba. Everybody cares about Jabba.
People like Boba. They think he's cool. But is he going to carry a movie? No.
Here's my point.
Yes. He had one line.
Here
Jabba,
is...
ho, ho, ho. I mean, just because they were cool, neat characters, so what?
Here's my point. There will be movies and videos and books and series based around these secondary characters and the universe for which they were in and have been and will for years to come out of The New Hope, Empire Strikes Back, and Last Jedi.
Okay.
Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, Rise of Skywalker have produced no secondary characters of any interest for which anybody cares anything about, whereas the original trilogy has. And do you know why? Because it told a story, even told a slight setup of various other branching stories to flesh out the universe. Whereas this trilogy couldn't even get a story arc for its main character. My point being is that from the beginning, this trilogy has not been well put together. It was not followed. I do not know why they went the route of having multiple directors for these shows, or even why they won't just come out and say we didn't have a plan to begin with, that there wasn't one script that they were all following, and that they can just simply say Rian Johnson went off. You cannot tell me like the way that they butchered Rogue One in the editing room.
Oh yeah,
that they would not have butchered The Last Jedi similarly. They supported him. Disney supported him throughout that. And now they're acting like they're having to go back and fix all this stuff, which they are. Obviously they are. It just goes to show that in the old Star Wars universe, the secondary characters were there as supporting cast that, yes, you did wonder about this cool-looking bounty hunter and what was about it. There have been stories written about Bosk, who didn't say anything, that was just standing by. There are various other...
That's just fan fiction.
No, it's not fan fiction.
Those are, you know what? Legends. Those are legends. Those are legends that Enrique
said. They were canon up until Disney bought it. And you're just mad because you are wrong.
I'm not mad.
Yes.
I'm not wrong. This is...
You are wrong.
Okay, this is a thing about movies.
You are wrong.
It is literally opinion.
No, it's not. You have literally said no one cares about Boba Fett, and I guarantee you
people love Boba Fett. Tell me about him. He's a Mandalorian bounty hunter. What about? Okay, what? What do you like about Boba Fett?
I like
his armor, his jetpack. Tell me his character.
All right, tell me Rey's. I guarantee you she's got less of a background.
She was born a Palpatine. She was deserted on a planet. She always wondered where she came from. She had these sensibilities of the Force that she didn't quite understand until she met Han Solo and all them, and the big-eyed lady that was Lupita Nyong'o, whatever she was. And then she started to realize it. And then when Ben Solo met her, or Kylo, and he said something about the Force, she's like, "Oh yeah, the Force."
Oh,
and she come into tune with it. Started fighting him. But this is my thing.
Okay.
And this is
no. Let me rebuff you now. Let me make this point.
No, hold on.
No. You asked the question and I'm answering it.
I did not ask a question.
Yes, you did.
I'm telling you something. It does not matter. I can love this movie.
I'm not saying I have said nothing about the
just
movie.
what I'm saying. But you are saying I'm wrong about things.
You are wrong about
There is nothing
things.
wrong
Yes, you
about
are.
an opinion.
No, you
It
have
is your opinion
No.
about
You have
movies.
stated things that are not factual.
What?
You have said nobody cares about Boba Fett. That is completely
No, I said the hipsters
factual.
do. There's a group of people that are very loud and minority on the internet that decided Boba was cool.
No.
Do you think Boba's freaking awesome? Best thing
Yes.
ever? Well, okay, I disagree. So that's my opinion versus your opinion.
No,
so what?
I'm saying I am bolstering my opinion.
Exactly,
with the
which you always do by downgrading mine and saying I'm wrong, you're right.
By showing you facts.
No, there's no facts. It's a movie. They're just opinions. If you like it or not.
You're completely missing the point. You're saying that nobody cares about him, but yet there's been all this fan fiction, books, material, another TV series.
But you're acting like he had this great backstory in Return of the Jedi and Empire. He had one line.
Let me tell you.
About
all right,
him?
so he was a clone.
He was literally on the screen less than Rose.
His father was murdered in front of him.
That was in the books. None of that was in the movies.
Do you not remember Attack of the Clones? You are making a fool of yourself.
Are you freaking kidding me? Now we're going to Attack of the Clones?
You're making a fool of yourself.
No, we're talking about his original series.
I like how...
the original...
I didn't know we were going to the prequels.
No, here's the thing.
You don't even remember You're talking about Empire.
No, wait. You're right.
You don't remember anything.
Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi.
Okay.
So you're talking about the prequels too? Are we going to go that far back?
I am actually...
You want to talk about horrific movie making? You want to talk about the prequels?
No.
I am talking
and
about...
when they made Boba Fett, son of Jango, one daddy, so whatever, the clones? Are you kidding me?
You have just discredited
Are you going to go to the clones?
Yes.
No.
Oh my
All right,
God.
stop. Both of you right now.
It's terrible.
No. Here's the thing. If we're talking about only the original series, when Star Wars was starting out, becoming the thing in the 70s, the 80s, he's right. Boba Fett did not have a story.
Correct.
In the start of Star Wars. You are 100% correct on that. But then later on, they started making him a character, an interesting character at that. Like Jerry said.
So later on, they started making him an interesting character.
Exactly.
When the original trilogy first came out, no one cared.
They cared enough that they inserted him into all these other movies and canons and ship books and everything else. So yes, people cared.
The animated shows. He was
well, y'all just wait for the Rose trilogy that's going to come out.
Yeah.
With all her backstory.
And
people care so much about it.
And here's the thing. I think Rose Tico could have been an interesting story arc.
Oh, yeah, obviously.
You're going to have half the world that is pro, half the world that's anti.
Well, but no.
Anything, anybody.
No.
This movie, Rise of Skywalker, is at 58% on Rotten Tomatoes, meaning the majority of people like the movie.
8% more, yes.
People act like no one likes this movie. But literally, the majority of people enjoy this movie.
Yeah, more than half the people like this movie. I'm not arguing that people like it. That's not my point. My point is that it was very haphazardly made. There were some points of it that I actually enjoyed. Like the whole goofy thing of they can pass things to each other through the Force. That was a setup so that she could do that little lightsaber drop to Kylo. That was fine.
A setup from Ryan?
Huh?
A Ryan setup?
I don't know. It may have been. I liked it. I thought that was okay.
No, that was a Force power never before seen. You shouldn't like it.
Well, no, I did say I didn't like that particular Force power. I'm saying as long as it doesn't break canon. It was completely and totally new.
That's the thing, though. JJ had free license to create literally new canon. He could do whatever he wants because he has the license now.
As long as it doesn't tear up what has already been firmly established.
What did he tear up?
I'm just saying that in my mind, and this is solely
as long as you say that. That's all I require of you to just say, in my opinion. Don't state things like fact, not fact.
Okay, I've asked the question, why can't Luke get his hand healed? Why doesn't the Force heal his hand?
You need to ask JJ
That's what I want to know. It's a puzzling thing to me.
Maybe he likes his robot hand.
I don't know. Maybe
he likes being a cybernetic organism.
There's a lot of things about that just doesn't make a lot of sense. So that to me,
it reminds him every day of where he's been.
When something seemingly breaks the previously established lore, that's when I have a problem. And I think that's sloppy
So,
writing.
what tell me again, what broke the lore? That she didn't resurrect his hand?
She didn't heal his hand. It doesn't work for amputees, apparently.
Maybe no, seriously, maybe he didn't want it.
Why didn't he do it? Why didn't he do it? If it was part of the Force and it could just be done. How did she even...
No. You know, some people with Force abilities have stronger...
I know.
You know.
I know this.
Because
yes.
you've read the books, you've played the
Yes,
games.
yes.
Some people have more abilities in different areas.
Okay, and that is how I've pawned this off in my head. That's why...
Just like Divergent.
That's why I say that's probably how she's able to pull it off. So,
And apparently she is powerful in all of them.
yes, she requires no training.
She requires no training.
So, for your edification, I would like to present something to you that I have been working on now for quite some time. It's a rough draft, but I fixed this last 3 movies for you. This is what I would have...
Screenplay?
This is the screenplay.
Can I be Ray?
This is the screenplay. And you both can, and all the listeners can write in and tell me.
I'll be Chewbacca.
So here's the deal. If JJ has come up to me, handed me the script, him and Ryan, this is what we're going to do. This is the shot by shot. Here's our concept. This is what I'm going to take. This is how easy it would be to fix what I think the last 3 movies missed out on. Okay, so let's start with Force Awakens. Force Awakens opens up with, very similar to the original, stormtroopers invading a village. Who do we find in that village but Poe, correct? Okay? Instead of just Poe, you've got Han and Chewie there. What are Han and Chewie doing? They're looking for Han's son, Ben. The big twist that I would have at the very beginning, instead of having Rey be the hero, don't have Rey be the hero. Drop that mess, because she never was. Ben is the hero. Ben, and it's established through the first part of the movie, was being trained by Luke, had a falling out. Now he wants nothing to do with his father, his family, the Force. He's hiding out on some planet. So now, enter the First Order, Poe, Han, Chewie, they're looking for Ben. Just insert Ben in all the places that you would have had Rey. And so you run this father-son dynamic throughout that first movie, where they find Ben, they save Ben, they're connecting, they're convincing him to come back, they're trying to help him to understand that what they're trying to do is to find him and to find Luke and to find the other Jedi that for which he was trying to train. Who's hunting them, would you say? But Darth Rey. Kylo Rey, if you want to. Rey is the bad guy. This is the one thing that irritated me so much about the show, is that Adam Driver is an excellent actor. He has a lot of range. They allowed him to play with his character and kind of have sort of an arc. The thing that got me with Rey is that they never let Daisy do any type of acting. She was always just, she was super nice. Very little did they allow her to really formulate the character. This is the way. Rey is a dark character. It's established later on in the film that, yes, she is the grandchild of Palpatine. She's evil. And she's evil because she thinks she has to be. And now what you do, you have these 2 opposing arcs that can be followed throughout the rest of these 3 shows. One, Ben is being redeemed. He's kind of in the middle. He doesn't want nothing to do with the Force, his family. And yet he goes through this whole story, character arc. And Rey, who's fighting with her own family in a sense. So you have these 2 opposing sides. Okay.
I mean, you're basically just role reversing.
No. I'm doing more than that. So tell me, why did Rey even feel any impact when Han died? None whatsoever. Han. Yeah, Han. Because that's what she called him. Han Solo. Are you Han Solo? He died. She doesn't matter. She just met the guy. So here's what happens.
He was a nice old man.
As it goes along, Rey kills Han in front of Ben. They've just spent the entire movie connecting. And guess what? Now this emotion overcoming thing happens, and now him and Rey are fighting. Rey beats him because Rey is a Palpatine. She's good. She knows how to handle the lightsaber. She's good at it. And who comes to save him but his old master Luke? Luke comes in at the very first movie. Just like Mark Hamill wanted. He wanted this story to be about Luke and his adventures with them. Luke comes in, saves his old Padawan. Roll credit. You can even insert Finn who, again, another character that was underutilized. Finn is a stormtrooper who now with Phasma is out looking for Ben. They're doing terrible things, and he eventually rejects Phasma and all their badness, and now he joins up the First Order, and he goes on the adventure with them. So now you have this three-way plot of Finn and his redemption from being a stormtrooper, Ben and his struggles with his family, and Rey also on her side with the dark side and her family. And so that first movie could have set up all three of these characters beautifully. Same thing. Han's dead. Ben's infected. Rey has been established of being just a really dark... We've never had a dark female lead.
I would like to see that.
That would have been awesome. And I think Daisy would have been perfect for that. And plus Ben's acting with the whole interaction between him and Harrison Ford, I think that would have been great. So that's the first one. All right, here comes the second one. And again, I'm not changing a lot. I'm just sticking with what's going on. The second one rolls around. You got The Last Jedi. All right. Luke is training Ben. Luke is not the Luke that we've heard previously. Luke is actually the old Luke. He's not jaded, but he's still doing his thing. This is going on. He's training Ben. All right. What's the purple-haired Laura Dern's chick? Remove her from the show.
Holdor.
Something
I don't know.
Get rid of her. Let General Akbar have that.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that she's there, Rey is wreaking havoc. I mean, establish in this movie that Rey is really, really mean. And as they're out hunting down the rest of the Resistance, now you can introduce Rose Tico, who I thought was going to be a very interesting story arc with her sister getting killed there. And you've got Finn, and you've got Poe. You can include however many other characters you want in this, and now these people have to go out. Poe, Finn, Rose, they leave the ship and they go on their adventures. Not that stupid casino scene that we saw. They go out and have like a Last Jedi row where they're going on this mission, Rogue One style, have to suicide mission to try to save the fleet, break into a Star Destroyer, whatever it might be, and establish these characters that way. Maybe even have Finn get killed off. I don't know. Something of that nature. So
Some stakes, you mean?
Some stakes. Things happen.
Yeah.
And then, guess what?
Did anybody die in the originals?
Besides Obi-Wan and Vader? No. It's mainly just secondary people. So, now, as the adventures are going on, you have Rey. She sends the Knights of Ren to go out and capture.
Knights of Ren, utterly useless in this trilogy.
So now the Knights of Ren, which have been hinted at in the first movie, now show up. They show up on the island with Luke Skywalker. Luke gets to flex his force and kill a couple of them, but they end up capturing Ben and taking off. Rey tries to turn Ben. It's unsuccessful. Rey now kills.
This is very long.
Rey now kills. Well, I'm fixing it. It's better, isn't it? Rey now kills.
I don't know. Hindsight's 2020. I don't know. I mean, that sounds pretty cool.
Yeah. Rey now kills what's his face? I don't even remember his name that we have no backstory from.
Who?
The clone. Exactly.
Boba?
No, the
He's a
clone.
clone.
No, the clone.
No.
Palpatine?
No, the clone.
No.
Yeah, the guy that you completely can't even remember because he was so useless and had no backstory, which I would have fleshed out a little bit in the first one. So now there is no Palpatine thing going on in the third film.
Well, I think it would have been, yes, that all sounds very interesting. Just as interesting would it have been if they had actually stuck with Rian Johnson's thing of having Rey be a nobody.
Right.
And she had these power. I mean, just to show that
Right.
anybody could, like Batman,
Yeah.
anybody could be Batman.
Again, I think it would have been better. I really think it would have been.
But that's not the way the movies went. You have to deal with it.
I don't have to deal with it.
You have to deal with it.
I don't have to deal with it. I don't have to like it.
And I just enjoyed it.
I don't have to live in the cloud of, I can just say I enjoyed it and stick my head in the sand. I can actually be critical of a movie and say, I don't like this movie. I see where they went wrong.
You
I
don't
don't
like
know.
most things.
I like a lot of things.
You don't like most things.
I like the other
You like
three.
being critical. You don't like dice games, but yeah, you like dice games. You don't like tile laying games, but you like tile laying
I
games.
don't like tile laying games. Ain't one tile laying game I like.
You don't like.
I would rather be critical than being known to be somebody who is bland and just likes everything.
But then you're just trying to be the opposite just to be different.
No, I'm not trying
just
to be
for the
opposite.
sake of being different.
I'm not being sake of being different. This is simply what the case is.
No. See, that's you. It's you saying that.
No.
It is, okay, you choose to not like it.
I don't
Great,
choose not to
cool.
like it.
Great,
Do you-
cool.
No, I don't choose not to like it. Do you choose to like it? Do you look at this movie and say, I'm thinking I'm going to like this? Do you?
I enjoyed it.
But did you? You didn't answer the question. Did you choose to like this film?
Did I choose to like it?
yes.
No.
I do not choose to hate this film.
Okay.
So why are you throwing shade? Because I did not choose to hate this film. I simply do not like it vehemently. And I see what's wrong with it.
Vehemently,
And I can
yes.
see how it could be fixed. And it pains me to think that we could have had a really good Ray. One that was like...
It's just, I mean, there's lots of movies we can do that with.
No.
The Matrix series.
No,
could
no,
have been great.
Yeah, Matrix, it could have been.
But it was not.
But there's just as many series that are really good that you have to nitpick to find anything wrong with.
Avengers.
I've never watched it, so I can't
You're
pass.
messing up, see? So you're being super critical. You need to go watch Avengers and see how they've done that series.
I'm sure-
That's how you correctly do a series.
I'm sure it's wonderful because I've heard many people who I listen to as reviewers that don't like those types of films say, yeah, even though I don't like superhero films, this was a great film. And why did they not let those guys take Star Wars?
I don't know. They messed up.
Yeah. And so just to say, I did not like Rise of Skywalker. It was probably... I don't see myself even probably...
But then you flip-flopped on Last Jedi, so who knows what you're thinking.
No, The Last Jedi, I said when you wanted my
When you
initial...
first started off like,
You asked me to give me...
The more I think about it, the less I like it.
Yes, you asked me to give my opinion as soon as it was over. And I said, yes, it was a really good show. When I walked out of the theater, I remember calling you and telling you I really enjoyed it. Then days go by and I go, no, there's a lot
Maybe
about
you'll change on this one.
No, this has been days and weeks since I've seen it.
Weeks? It came out last Wednesday.
Yeah, that's when I saw it. I went and seen it when it opened. It's poor. It's not
In your opinion.
I think I've objectively brought out in my points.
I mean, there's lots of things that you liked about it, didn't like about it.
No. You can like something and still say it's poor.
I agree.
Okay, so you think this is a poor film?
No.
No, I think it's objective.
I think they're
Objectively.
It's objectively no.
Yeah, it is objectively poor.
No, it's subjective.
No, something can be objectively.
No.
Yes, it can. Do you know what the definition of quality is? The quality
Sure, you'll tell me.
is the quality is the expectation of the standard. This is the standard, and if it's below this, it's below quality. I'm saying this is a below quality
But who
film.
set the standard? You did.
No,
Yes.
no.
The people did.
People did.
With what? The original trilogy that will never live up to anything that people want?
No, I would say
Force Awakens?
No,
People said it was a rehash.
No,
Last Jedi subverted it, did all these things different. Everybody hated it.
I know what they
this
said.
goes back to the original. Everybody hates it because it left Last Jedi stuff in the dust.
I would
so
say-
there's no pleasing anybody.
No.
You either just like it or you don't.
No. I would say that the Force
I
Awakens.
didn't like the character arcs. I wish they'd have had them. I wish, like you said, they
Didn't
had
like them. There
fleshed
were
out-
none.
Oh, I agree. Rey had a little bit. Kylo was the only one that actually had an actual story arc. Poe, Finn didn't do much. They were funny. They were likable, whatever. It does not live up to the original, but I still enjoyed this movie.
That's fine. You can
Thank you.
You can
Appreciate
you
that.
can enjoy something. Just the
Yes,
same.
I can.
Just
Thank
the
you.
same way that I.
Thank you for allowing me to enjoy this movie.
Well, what I want to know is why will you not let me hate it? You
I
defend.
know. I agree.
No. As soon as anyone says anything bad, I'll just your
no,
opinion.
I just don't like it when you act like it is fact that it's bad,
It's below quality.
in your opinion.
No, you just said it.
No.
You just said it.
There's lots of movies like that, though.
won't
You
meet
go
up.
back and watch the original Star Wars. It's very bland.
No, it's not.
It is,
I
too.
love the original. Watched it more
Great.
than
I'm
anything
glad
else.
you're, in your opinion, you like that movie.
It was no in
Every
comparison.
movie is freaking subjective. Citizen Kane, stupid, boring, dumb, black and white. Blah. But yet, number one greatest movie of all time. Are you kidding me?
No. You're going.
Go back and watch that movie.
You're going by. There's a difference. Those that are in the business set the idea of what quality
the
is.
business.
Yes, they set the idea of just what quality is. It's like if you had a car and that car you only got 10 miles to the gallon to it.
That's just like you want to talk about board games. But you got all these critics that will hell Tapestry, greatest board game ever. We didn't like it.
Well, that's not.
In our opinion, we didn't like it.
That is opinion, yes, and reviews and opinions.
Well, the reviewers, the critical reviewers that set the standard in board games,
They don't set the standard; they're the opinions.
No, that's what it is.
No, it's
You're
not.
talking about the people set the standard.
I did not. I said the people in the
Agricola
business.
is one of the highly rated
I
games
said
of
the
all times,
people-
and you don't like Agricola because you just didn't like the way it plays. For you personally,
you are making it so convoluted. I'm
No,
not saying.
I'm making it very simple.
No, you
have
completely
opinions.
ignored everything I said and set up
have
a strong
opinions.
man argument. Yes.
No, you have opinions, and you like it or you don't.
No, that's not how it goes. That's not simply how it goes. Yes, you can have an opinion and say, I like this film. There's some bad movies I like.
Sharknado.
I've never watched Sharknado.
Freaking love those.
But there are some movies that I know.
Fast and Furious.
That this is yes. And that's a prime example. There's no doubt. If I would have watched those, I could probably think these are bad movies.
Right.
But I might like them.
But they're enjoyable. And I like the characters.
They could be enjoyable and like. You can enjoy and like a bad movie. With the Rise of Skywalker, it's not just that I don't like it. I really feel like they degraded the Star Wars franchise by either not sticking with what Ryan was going or even cutting out Ryan from the beginning. It went downhill.
But that's a studio thing. We can't do nothing about that.
I'm not saying that anything should be done about it. I'm just simply making a fact that you cannot sit here and go, they made all these mistakes, and then say, it's a good movie. You can't. That's ignorant. There's no way that you can sit here and say, there's no character arc, because there's not. That there's all these...
people would argue that. People can literally online are arguing how Rey has an arc.
And that arc, and it's visible. You can see that there is no arc. It's plain.
According to you. Some people say she starts off on a desert planet, doesn't know who she is, she has doubts, then she solidifies the way she feels about herself.
How does she feel about herself?
That she realizes that she doesn't have to be a Palpatine, despite her feelings.
Okay. And that's never portrayed in the show, unfortunately. But yes, you can make those assumptions.
People would argue that. That's what I'm saying. That's why we're sitting here arguing and fighting, and it's over. Oh my God!
I'm not arguing with you.
It's a stupid movie, but I mean, it's literally people can fight you over anything. That's why it's all subjective, because I can sit here and feel how I'm going to feel and be very convinced about it. And then somebody could come in with a reasonable argument, and I start doubting myself. I see all your points, but I still enjoyed it. But then somebody else that talks better than me could come in on the other side, and then they just go back and forth. And that's what Twitter is. That's what the internet is.
And
you have one critic going against another critic, and you're like, I see he has points. Oh, okay, now I see he has points. I'm just going to form my own opinion based on what I see.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with that when we're not discussing opinions. We're talking about the actual quality of the film.
No, that's what I'm telling you, because you're ticking off things that you think is wrong with it. People will come on and fight you over everything you tick off. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter in this day and age of Twitter and the internet. Whatever you say, someone can and will fight you on that topic.
And I don't care whether they fight, as long as they can offer a reasonable argument. Just because someone says, no, you're wrong, that's not an argument.
I know.
And so I don't care about their opinion. And their opinion doesn't matter.
There's people that will come on and give you valid points that I can't all think of right now, but they'll go back and forth.
Well, yeah, that's all I'm saying, is that I have seen no valid points to this being a good film.
But how much have you looked?
I have. I've listened to every reviewer even when it first come out, the reviews of all the reviewers that now they're saying have been bought. I listened to them and was very excited, thinking, okay, maybe they've kind of got this. Maybe this is going to be the Star Wars film that hooks it. But
really, it just didn't work for you.
No, I was excited going into it. I thought, okay, I don't like the Palpatine thing, but everything about it is not boiling down objectively to what I want. But I'm interested.
What did you want?
I wanted what I described. I wanted.
So you want to write your own story? No. That's not going to happen.
No.
You have to deal with what's presented before you.
No,
and like it or don't.
No. That's not what I mean. Well, I'm meaning
that's what you just said.
No,
you said what I want.
Yes, I wanted to see something that was of Star Wars based story, that was something of redemption and things of this nature, that was done in a way that was Star Wars-esque. And it almost got there. There were some points during the film where
You had music, you had force, you had action. That's Star Wars.
that's a very convoluted.
Star
That's a
Wars.
very diluted way of looking at it.
Well, that's basically it.
Okay. Well, with that opinion and your opinion on Boba Fett and others, I'm sure many people would say that your opinion of Star Wars is next to useless.
Oh, and I guess you're the superior version.
I think that yes, I think so. I honestly do.
Growing up, I literally never considered Boba Fett. I didn't realize Boba Fett was a thing until I was 40 years old. Oh, I love Boba Fett. Nobody gave a crap about Boba Fett when I was growing up. I never had one friend growing up say, oh my God, I love Boba Fett. That became a thing later on.
You think so? I don't know. I think you're wrong with that. I'll just have to. I'm not even.
I could be.
Yeah,
I'm not afraid to admit I'm wrong.
I'm just going to leave that alone. I'm not going to touch that. That's all we have time
Well, look at
for.
all the Jabba fans out there. You're talking about Jabba the Hutt.
Oh, yeah.
Character arc.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, please.
Yeah, I love the
From
Hutt.
baby slug to big slug.
Love the Hutt.
He was a crime lord. He ran a crime syndicate.
Yeah, according to all the crap they wrote later.
Exactly.
Exactly. So let's write a bunch of books about Rose Tico, and then she'll be popular.
I doubt that would be the case, but I would
Well,
like
we'll
to see.
see.
I would like to see.
We'll see.
It'll be interesting. She
Oh, wait, sorry. Enrique, I've had you off this whole time.
Oh, okay, that's fine.
Because you were like heavy breathing, and I
Oh.
had to block that out. All right, well, we went long enough.
I guess it's sad that you have such poor opinions of it. So I wish that you
I'm
would.
sorry, my opinion is poor in your
I
eyes.
wish your opinion was better.
All right, that's going to do it for this episode of Pod Snapping. I'm exhausted.
You should be.
This is Gabi.
That's Jerry.
Bye.